watching the form of Sun Yang, the Olympic champion, in lane number 7 in the pink suit to the left, second from the left of your screen there. Outside of him is Jolie of France, Ryan Cochran, who was the silver medalist 4 years ago, who swims in lane 6. So he has the white cap, and the black cap, it's Gabriele Detti of Italy. And Horton is in lane 4 as they go to the wall for the first time. And when they come forward, I'll talk to you about the others who are in this race. In lane 3, we'll see Ulamovsky. It's 3 from the left of your screen here now. Christiansen of Norway is in lane 2. And in the red cap of Great Britain, it's Timothy Shuttleworth, who just break into the top 10 in the world in 2016 by virtue of his 14 minutes 55.23. So we don't have a man from China in the top 10 in the world this year, but he is the Olympic champion. And last year he did several sub-15s, and he has the best time of all time with his...
Just waiting for some people to join while I'm watching the Olympics here. Can't seem to turn it off. I know some people aren't that interested in the Olympics, so if you're watching the replay, sorry, I was just waiting for the stream to start, and like I said, just watching a little bit of the video of of the live feed of the Olympics that's going on right now. The women's soccer is going on right now, so if you are waiting to watch it a little bit later on, I can see I have a couple attendees on now. I'll go ahead and turn off the Olympics. Sorry, I can't get enough. I love since I was a kid, I love the Olympics. I thought that either I was going to be a pole vaulter in the Olympics or a decathlete. I did well in high school and then college, got girl crazy and some other stuff and got distracted, became a magician, and went around doing magic. And so I never continued my training, but I was ranked number 2 in the state of California in pole vault. I'm sure all of you really care about that. So go ahead and type in if you're able to type into the chat and let me know that the mic is working. It says that it's hot and I can see that the line's going up, but you never know. And make sure that you didn't have any problems signing in. YouTube just recently changed something in the configuration so that Webinar Jam, which I'm using right now to broadcast this webcast, advised me when I went to go log on today that it would take 24 hours for some of the changes to take place. So as soon as you get in, as soon as somebody gets in, I would really appreciate it if you would let me know that you can see the video, that you can hear. It says that I have 2 people on right now, which is funny because in one place it says that I have 2. That would be Jeff and Sally. But I don't know for sure that you are able to see what's going on. So as soon as you get a chance, type into the chat. Let me know that you can hear me and see me, and they're actually logged on. Everything that I have on my end says that it's playing perfectly. And before 11 o'clock starts, I'm going to go get my phone just in case somebody wants to send me a text message. So I'll be right back. So if you're seeing a screen and nobody there, that's me. I'm here. And I'll make sure and look and see. No messages yet. Usually somebody in my circle will send me a text message and let me know that they can't get on for whatever reason. But like I said, it says that there's 2 people in the room. Can you hear me? Can you see me? So I'll put that in there. Can you log? Can you see the video? This is always the most challenging part about these webinars. I've done a few, and some of them worked perfectly. Others, I failed in some way by clicking on the wrong button or doing something that I shouldn't have been doing. So it's almost 11 o'clock. Oh, I see somebody raising their hand. What's the request? Somebody was raising their hand. What does that mean? So I've got Jeff and Sally there. Somebody's trying to log on. All right, it is 11 o'clock. I probably should get going pretty soon, but again, if you're watching this replay, just know that I just want to wait for a few people to get on to make sure everything's working properly. Again, these things are not perfect when you're dealing with the internet, and it is not 100% all the time, but it's much better. I can see that the video at least looks a little bit better. I can see that my sound, at least as far as on my end, seems to be working properly. And still waiting for confirmation from somebody that they're on. And I don't see anything yet as far as anybody. Sometimes the links work and sometimes they don't. So let's hope that they're working. I'm just going to give it a couple more minutes. I know that if you're watching this replay that you're probably standing there waiting for me to get started with some content. I don't want you to click off just because we're waiting here, but I just need to know for sure if it's working. So just to let you know what I'm using right now, I'm using a Webinar Jam. This is a great program other than when YouTube changes some of the preferences that you have to have clicked on, and they take a period of time to change over. That could be the problem. But other than YouTube messing around with their configuration, you should be able to use Webinar Jam with not much of a hiccup. There's so many options that you can do with Webinar Jam. So I'm talking to you as a business owner that if you're going to give webinars to your attendees, to your clients or to your potential clients, that Webinar Jam is a fantastic solution, because you can give people announcements just like I did with you, where there's a landing page, people can register and that kind of stuff. You can keep track of people. Unlike Facebook Live, which I use a lot, where you just go live and then you just wait to see who's going to attend. Webinar Jam is scheduled. Webinar Jam, you can embed videos so that at some point, if I wanted to talk about something in particular that I previously recorded a video, I can hit play video and it'll play the video on this live webinar. You can also give them call to actions. In other words, they click on something and they can receive a book, or they can go to a website to log in and sign in, or a website to purchase a membership, for instance. So Webinar Jam has a lot of tools. You can put polls. I will have a poll up here in just a few minutes that I'm going to put up, that I will be asking you to answer the poll to let me know what are some of the things that are blocking your success, or what hurdles do you find in your business that you would love to have some help with. And so that poll will be coming up very shortly. So just still waiting. So I've not got a confirmation from anybody. Let's see in the chat. Let's see the chat. Hello. I see that we have attendees, but again, nothing in the chat. That just does not look good. Hard to tell. Oh my gosh. When I saw that when I logged in that I had to do something 24 hours ago, it didn't tell me that before when I set up this Webinar Jam program. So it just must be something recently. It said urgent, and it had big red letters and little bells and whistles clanging, saying that this needed to happen. Let me try something else. I'm going to do one more thing just before I get started here. I'm going to go on anyway. It's good practice. So if you're watching again, listen to the replay. You don't need to panic. You just got to power through and make it work. So I'm going to message somebody here really quick and see, and that'll be Sally. And write a quick message to her. So I'll wait for that message. But while we're doing that, let me just talk to you a little bit about who I am. Some of you met me over at SuperZoo. Some of you may have gotten an email that had a little bit of a sizzle reel that talked about some of the things that I've been doing lately. And I want you all to know that, like you, I started as an entrepreneur about 30 years ago. I was at the same time, I was a police officer with Anaheim Police Department, and I was a canine handler. I had a passion for it, I realized right away, and the department recognized that. And then I began to teach all over the United States about police canines and, some of the things that I learned as a canine handler, and then got recognized by the International Police Canine Conference, where they made me an instructor, and got really busy with dog training. So as time went on, I got better at it, became a little bit more well-known for what I was doing. I was on the Disney Channel and a lot of local news stations with my work with Disney and some other stuff. So with a lot of hard work, I didn't take many days off. I was working as a police officer and running my business at the same time, and things continued to work well. But that was, again, with lots of hard work, sleepless nights, just continuously working. I've been continuously working for the last 30 years or so on the business. And then, I can see that Jeff says, hey, I'm trying to refresh, but no video is working. Gosh darn it. Try one more time. Preferences. Program. Sorry, I'm typing because in fact, Jeff says that he's trying to refresh, but no video is working. Is the sound? And so with that, I saw some success, but it was mostly due to hard work, and that I actually came up with a couple of good programs that worked and were changing the way police dogs are being trained and pet dogs and that kind of stuff. And that carried me. It allowed the business to continue, never making a ton of money, but making some money. I was able to have employees and that kind of stuff. At some points I would make a fairly large amount of money, but it was always just enough, right? Always just enough to keep going, and not enough to really take me to the next level, right? Of comfort, of no stress. Because every month, we were buying thousands of dollars worth of dogs. So then thousands of dollars would come in, and then we're paying for employees and we're paying for a whole lot of stuff. But there was never enough to really take us to a level to where I could maybe hire somebody to do all the stuff for me so I could actually take a break. I literally had not taken a vacation for years because it just never was a point in time that I could actually do that. But unlike most businesses, I was making enough to not fail, but not enough to give me a break. So what ends up happening is that we started doing fairly well. We were out of debt. We were debt free, at least got to that point. And I got the bright idea of starting a security company. Immediately, I went from 5 employees to 500 employees, and that is not a great place to be. I got to tell you that you go from that level that fast, when up to that point I had never really learned about how to manage the business, how to manage all the marketing, how to manage all the people, and struggle at all those things, and lost my shirt on. We were doing security for Comic-Con. We were doing security on the Coachella Fest, Stagecoach, which are all huge things. And so I lost my shirt and went down in flames, and owed thousands and thousands of dollars to the government and payroll. And it was not a pretty thing. So I was down and out fairly seriously. Falco Canine Academy, which is the dog training part of the business, was not necessarily affected by that. But when you lose that much money, of course it is. You now are struggling to stay alive, and you don't know that the dog training is not going to come in enough to make that work. Darn it. Well, not sure what I'm going to do with this video, but I'm going to continue on anyway. And so what I had to do is discover how to do marketing in the pet world. Now, I couldn't afford to hire anybody, so I had to go and learn it all myself. And it turns out that it actually turned out in the end to be a very, very positive thing. I nearly lost my house. It got foreclosed on. I was able to save it though in the end. You name it. It was bad. Everything that you can imagine. You got employees suing you. You got, employees quitting that I've had around for 8 years. They couldn't take the stress, and just so much happened, right? But in the long run, I dove into the marketing aspect. I got to change what's happening. I need a break. I have to take a vacation. How do other people do this? And learned the new system of marketing. The reason I call it the new system of marketing, because it's not done the way that it was in the past. It isn't billboards. It isn't yellow pages. It isn't just simply knocking on doors anymore. That the whole social media, the whole expectation of people now is to see you on video. The expectation is to have a relationship with you. It's not like before where they would just see an ad and then call you up and then make an appointment. You have to talk to them. You have to have systems in place that you can create a relationship with them so they can begin to know, like, and trust you. Very, very important. So that's why I put together this program of pet world marketing, anything in the pet world. If you do this, it will work. I promise you, if you do it. I'm not telling you how much money you're going to make, but I'm telling you, if you do it correctly, if you follow the steps that I took, it will work for you, because it did work for me. I am a 6-time #1 best-selling author. There's a system to that, and how you write a book and how you put that out. There is creating a list, which I had no idea before, which we're going to talk about first, is one of the most important things. So let's actually talk about that in the beginning. So where's the list? Where is your list? I asked this at Super Zoo. People ask them, do you have a list? What's your means of capturing a list? And they would say, I don't know what a list is, or I don't have a list. So I say, well, this is obviously a play on the where's the beef. But if you don't have the beef, you have nothing. You don't have a hamburger. If you don't have a list, it's going to be hard for you in today's market to have a business. So where's the list? A list of prospects are those who have showed interest in you, your service, or your product. So what are you doing to grab the people that have shown that they have an interest in you, your service, or your product? Where is that list? Where are you maintaining that? How are you gathering that information? There's all kinds of ways of doing that. Those who have taken a step or taken action into your sales funnel. So you have your prospects, people who have shown an interest in your product. Then you have your qualified prospects, who are people who have taken a step. In other words, they've clicked on something. Like, for instance, when you clicked on this announcement that we're having this webinar, that is a qualified prospect, because you've taken a step. It's not just that you've called us or you've just read something on a Facebook ad. You've actually done it and then enter your name and email address, and you've asked to have some information sent to you. That's a qualified prospect, at least in the terms that I'm using it. And then you have a list of high value customers, and those are all the people that have bought for you. So there's essentially, there may be more with some businesses or maybe less, but in most businesses you have your people that have showed interest by calling. And that's why when you call, you say, how did you hear about us? Do you mind if I take down your name and email address and your phone number? And you gather that information. Then you have the people that you have, or you know they're taking an extra step. Those are good people that you want to stay in contact with. And then, of course, the people who bought, they've shown that they like what you have to offer. They bought into your sales pitch or whatever it is that you do to convince them to buy. And now you're going to stay in contact with them, because those are people that you want to stay in contact with. So let me go back to my camera here for 1 second so I can talk to you a little bit about what a list gathering tool may be. So there's all kinds of list gathering. Of course, there's pen and paper, right? You write down, you get their information, write down their name and email address, and you jot that down so that you can use it, and their cell phone number is ideal. You got your pen and paper. The other thing is using something like Infusionsoft or ClickFunnels or TPNI, which I already forgot what the acronym stands for, but it's one that I probably use the longest. But right now I'm a really big fan of ClickFunnels. And so that is actually what I used when you signed up for this webinar and showing me you had your interest. So you first went through ClickFunnels. You gave me your name and email address. That goes into a list that you have taken as your qualified prospect. And then you signed up for the webinar separately, because that's what would be called a double opt-in. And it makes sure that you really, really do want to be on this webinar, and that you really do, want to give us your name and email address and feel comfortable doing that. And so the internet likes that, because in a double opt-in, it's showing that I didn't spam you, that I didn't put a gun to your head to sign in and that kind of stuff. So it is even a better list. It means that you really, truly want to be with us, and that you're more likely to watch and listen and learn and be a part of it. And of course, as a business owner, you're the type of person that we want to market to, because you've shown great interest and you've taken steps, and you're going to be more likely to purchase what it is that we are offering. It's so funny how many messages now are coming across that people are saying, what's going on? You're watching right now on YouTube, but it's not working in the Webinar Jam system, right? I know there's a delay. Just let me know if you can actually hear the video or hear the audio on the YouTube, because it really won't work that well if I just do it through YouTube, because you won't get the poll, you won't get any other stuff I have planned to give the people, so I don't want to direct them all to over there. So that would stink. Okay. Well, like I said, YouTube is fine for viewing the video, but there's things that I want to put out that needs this tool to actually work. And it's the, I don't know, it's the preferences that they changed in YouTube that I had to go in and approve. And it said, when I clicked on the last one, we will notify you in 24 hours that you've been approved to continue to use this particular program. And it really sucks. So I guess it just happened either, I don't know why, yesterday we tested it. Everything worked perfectly. Everett's in Northern California. He was able to get on, see the video, and was able to share. And, like I said, when I signed on this morning, it had this big urgent, go through the preferences in YouTube, change your preferences so that it will allow Webinar to Jam to work. And because it may take 24 hours for it to actually go through. So the best thing to do is, because, like I said, the poll that I have to offer here, some of the documents I want to send them won't work through YouTube, and the other stuff. So it stinks. Thank you, Carlene, for letting me know. It's just everything else went perfectly. Everything's good. I can share my screen. And all this stuff appears to be working properly. And that's just the way that it works. So what are you going to do? Oops. Where did my... Okay, I'm just going to wait for Everett to come on here. He and I will have a little bit of a chat, and then we will be leading. So, Carlene, you can actually stay on and listen to Everett and I chat, because he's going to come on here in just a minute. And we'll see if that actually works, because, like I said, yesterday we were able to do it. So I want to see. I want to see if it will work for him when he logs on. He just told me a minute ago that he's getting ready to come on. Let's see. Yeah, don't see him yet. So I'm just going to chat to myself and see if anything changes in the next couple minutes. We have people logging on. Sorry, Dominic, Jeff, Carlene, Sally left. About 9 people there at one point. It really stinks. And I spelled Dominic. Sorry, Dominic. Let's see. Oh, it didn't give me a. That may be my spell check me. All right, come on there, Everett. I could use you right now. He says wrapping up, available. Oh, and 25. Am I going to wait 25 minutes? If I could have Carlene, if there's a way I could get you on here, I wish there was. Let's see. I don't think that there is. Let me try to send. Yeah, I don't think I can. Thought there might be a way I could send you, Carlene, another link that might let you on it, maybe as a presenter, and see if that part of it is still working. But I don't see a link that allow me to do that. If anybody else that I see that's coming on, make sure and let me know if you suddenly, for whatever reason, can see the video and hear the podcast, because I see Dominic is still on. He hasn't left yet. And any of the others that have gone on, if there's something has changed recently, that would be fantastic if it changes, because then we'll just push forward. Sorry, clicking around. Carly, I'm just looking for a link that I could possibly, I don't think I can add it this late. I don't think it'll let me because I'm on. Well, I have been on 37 minutes, so I might as well wait forever now. Everett, come on for me. La-dee-dee. Want to see the poll? Oh, you can't see the poll because you are on YouTube. Carly, let me know if this poll shows up on YouTube. I doubt if it will. It says, what is your biggest hurdle? And then you can check on them. And start the poll. Probably not. So the poll is on there. So Carly, when we get a chance, just let me know what YouTube shows. If it shows it'll be off to your right. It'll be a series of questions, because I don't think it'll show up on YouTube. Probably not. Swell. I like it when Carlene says swell. Or when you say swell. Since you're the only one watching right now. Yeah. That just proves the point. Oh, you can see it on there. So yeah, people have to watch YouTube and the webinar jam, two things at the same time. Probably not a good idea. It sucks because this thing works really, really well when it's working properly. And then the offer. Yeah, we're not even going to bother. You voted? What did you vote? The biggest pain, did you put pain is Andy? Let's see. Understanding social media. Oh, well, yeah. That is some. I have a lot of people that, in another poll that I ran, that fear is the number one. Fear to get in front of a camera, fear to put themselves out there, fear to go, on television, fear to advertise themselves or do a demonstration, even live. And so that's one of the things we're going to discuss. But social media definitely is one thing for sure we're going to discuss. Next, I'm thinking about doing it next Monday. Let me see. I have to look at my schedule. Because I killed all my tabs. And let's see. So Carlene, since I have you on the line, you can add this to our schedule. Let's see, 13th, 14th, Sunday. Yeah, let's do Sunday. Monday. Let's do Monday. Let's make it later in the day because it is a Monday, and I know for sure most people have to go to work. I did it early on Friday to give people an excuse to start their weekend early. But let's do 4 o'clock on Monday the 15th, August 15th. So Monday, 4 o'clock, August 15th. And I'll put out an announcement. I'll send everybody an email because now we have everybody's name and email address. We'll talk about the glitch together that will say this is out of my control. I needed one of those things that goes on television. We were temporarily, what is that they used to say on television when the satellite would go down? Due to technical difficulties, we are temporarily not available our programming is temporarily not available, whatever that was they used to say. So let's see. Oh, good. I got Jeff saying that he would interested in the reschedule. Well, Jeff would not want to watch the replay of what I'm doing now. which is vamping. The only thing I didn't have was one of my #1 best-selling books. I had this book to show people, but I didn't have one of my #1. I have everybody else's #1 best-selling book. You're telling me to add it to the calendar, or you added it to the calendar? Everett replied. Let's see what Everett has to say here. 10 minutes. I don't know if I can vamp that long. I can have this one-way conversation with Carlene. Now I can tell Carlene anything I ever wanted to say. I love you. On YouTube, is the video actually clear? That's interesting, because on my end, it looks super clear. I actually need to get makeup and put makeup on my light spots there. And I'm going to use different lighting on Monday. I meant to bring them in today, but my workout went a little long, and I didn't get here fast enough to set up their lighting. Added it. I did it. All right. Thank you. Because you can't yell back at me. I know you'd probably call me instantaneously and say, "You mother of pearl," and yell at me. I will delete this YouTube video off of YouTube, by the way, when I get a chance. What do you think of my shirt? Does it blend in too much with the background? That also you can tell me. Yeah, super clear and more hair. Sorry, I have to look down. I know I hate that part that I have to look down. If I could look up and you can see the hair in my nostrils, maybe. But I'll maybe put more hair. Oh, I'm glad that it's super clear, because that was one of the things back when I first got Webinar Jam back over a year ago, that you would still have the shaky screen and that kind of stuff, and the voice and the lips don't mesh. That may still be happening, but in the past, the lips and the voice were not in sync. So that's good. I will get some makeup for my forehead. I'm sure my daughter can help me out with that kind of makeup, and get that better. And what about the shirt? You haven't commented. Is this shirt? Does this work with this background, or maybe I should get a different shirt? Maybe a black shirt or something like that. I'm glad I make you laugh. I think blue shirt would be better. The orange looks like the wood. Now, what'd you say about my wood? I hope nobody's watching this. Oh my gosh. It's so funny. Come on, Everett. That's been the longest 25 minutes ever. 11:37. Oh. I had to type Everett. Well, I'm having a one-way conversation with you, and I can't do that forever. Let's see if I can show you something, Carlene, while we're on here. Let's see. Let's do this. Let's think of one of the things I was going to show you. Click. Log into ClickFunnels here and see if this actually is interesting or not. Log in. Hold on, I'm looking at something to see if there's something I can show you. The mic in lower right-hand corner looks very sexual. It's supposed to look professional. That's just your dirty mind. If I drop it down too low, then I don't want the needs to be, sent in that direction. And there's really no not that many options that I have, and it's a really good microphone. They have another style that I could probably get when I have a little bit more money, but right now it works. I have it. I won it in a contest, and so the price was right. So sorry that it's sexual and causing you grief. All right, back to what I was doing. I forgot what I was going to show you in ClickFunnels. There was a couple of things I was going to show you. Oh, I know what it was. Now I remember. Let me go to Kajabi. All right, Kajabi. Kajabi. All right, let me share my screen here. So you don't have to take notes. I'll actually make another video, but I just thought since I'm waiting for oh, well, if you lost the video, then this is not going to do any good. Oh, well. All right. Well, how'd you lose the video? Did it, is it on my end or your end? Because I didn't change anything. As far as I can tell, I'm still on. Hello. Just your picture in a circle and a great aqua shirt. Oh. On my end, I didn't do anything. Ugh, stupid. Yes, there's a long lag time. Well, it's just that preference. They changed it. It has to do with monetization, that because this is a business software, I think. And so you had to agree. Oh, there you are. So Everett's on now.
Hey.
I can't hear you. There you are. So it turns out when I logged in to do my webinar in Webinar Jam that there was this urgent message that says YouTube has changed their preferences. You have to go in and change all these things, and it will take 24 hours to go into effect.
Oh, of course.
So I went and changed all those things, hoping that, you know, sometimes when I don't know, when I do things with GoDaddy, they tell you it'll take 24 hours, but actually it takes like 10 seconds and it actually goes. I was hoping that once I did all that, because I did it about half an hour before the webinar started, and it didn't work. So everybody's tried to log on. They were able to get into the Webinar Jam portal, but no video or audio. Oh. So I was able to chat with them, but they couldn't see anything or hear anything.
Stink. Wait, I'm surprised you didn't just go over to live.
Well, I do have I had a poll, and then I had some things I was going to send them, and I think it just would have not been exactly what I wanted to do, and to get everybody switched over, and well, that I just told them, listen, we'll reschedule. I'll send you out information, and we will just do it again on Monday. So I'm gonna do. I don't know. Are you available Monday at 4? Because I put in a whole book thing for you, and it was going to work out perfectly.
Oh yeah, I'm totally in.
Okay. Monday's. I got a whole. I'll actually send. I'll send you the PowerPoint. It's not much. It just talks about. It'll allow us to talk about why having a book is important.
Oh, beautiful! Love it.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. Well, thank you, man.
Well, that's all. I just wanted to tell you what happened. I didn't want you to think that like normal I've actually messed something up, but I didn't. Everything I did was right, and I ran through a little bit of the webinar as if it were actually going live, just to make sure that everything was working. But everything on, seeing you and me, but they just can't log in. It has to do with something with monetization. So you had to accept their terms for monetization, and then there were like 3 other things you had to click on. have Webinar Jam, I would go do that with your YouTube right now to make sure that if you ever decide to do a webinar, you don't forget and do it, and don't do it.
Yeah. All right.
Because it's like four or five things that you have to do before you're okay.
Really?
All right.
What a pain. All right.
I know.
All
It
right.
sucks.
Thanks, man.
So I'll either talk to you over a weekend or I'll see you on Monday.
Yeah. Oh, did you announce on one of the live casts that we had made a change on the retreat? Yael had intimated as much. Yael's awesome. She goes, what about just pushing it back by a week?
Maybe.
Which I appreciate. And she said, it is what it is. I'll put some money aside. Andy just announced it on Facebook Live. Charmaine told me. She thinks in the Facebook Live elite. So you may want to post it fast. Maybe you should be taking a poll on dates before you plan the next one. That's what she said.
I didn't say whatever I said wasn't much. I think I may have just made a joke like.
I'll go ahead and.
You know what I was talking about? I remember what I was talking about. I was talking about that since since the Masters is going to be postponed, that'll give us more data and more stuff for the thing. It was a really quick. It wasn't like I announced it.
Right.
I think I just spoke out of turn and wasn't thinking straight.
All right. I'll post a video to the group then.
Okay. All right, cool. Well, I'm glad that seeing you works because, again, I didn't understand why us having our conversation worked perfectly yesterday, and yet nobody was able to log on. It didn't make any sense. But it must be because we're using the same. I don't know. Nice yawn. That was really beautiful. You look so handsome when you yawn gigantically.
You can do it closer to the camera if you prefer next time.
Yeah. Your 6 head actually turns into an 8 head when you yawn. All right, I got it.
See you, dude.
All right, later. Bye.